Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute, very long minute. Yeah. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for all your comments, like, subscribe, share. Please continue to drop those comments. I look forward to them. There's just been a lot going on the past month. I feel like I've been saying that every single month this year. I wonder why. In case you didn't know, I take votes on my Instagram stories every single month on what videos you guys want to see next. I'm not doing that video this time though. Yeah. There's a great conjunction tomorrow. That kind of seems more important to talk about. So I want to do a pick a card on how the great conjunction will affect you or what sort of changes you can expect as a result of the great conjunction. As you guys know, I go live every Thursdays. Replays are available for members only. And also if you're a member, you get special perks and discounts. So make sure you become a member today. And also before we head into 2021, if you would like a spiritual and psychic reboot, really work on your inner healing, want to learn how to manifest better, I have new audiobooks as well as my 21 Days of Major Arcana course listed below. At this point, over 100 students that took it and they were like, this was a game changer. So I highly recommend it. If you're still looking for cool gifts, these have been an absolute bestseller from Mystical Dragonfly Candles, also linked in the description below. These are Wickless wax candles, coconut oil wax candles. They're gorgeous. Go get one today. This conjunction is a big deal, you guys. For the past 400 years or so, Saturn and Jupiter always met in an earth sign, Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. It met once in Libra, but outside of that, it was always in an earth sign. Jupiter is a planet of expansion. Saturn is a planet of restriction. When they meet, they literally join forces together to create this push and pull dynamic as far as like what sort of changes need to be implemented and what sort of toxic cycles need to end. So over the past couple of centuries, there was a huge emphasis on material wealth, land accumulation, commodities. That's why the banking system, the commerce system, all these very hierophant-y systems flourished. With the Jupiter and Saturn conjunction in Aquarius, all that's going to change. We're leaving the Earth cycle, entering the air cycle. This is a little bit different from Age of Aquarius. Some may say this is the beginning of an Age of Aquarius. Some astrologers say Age of Aquarius won't start until like 100 years later. I actually think it already started. We're just kind of all catching up to it. Here's a reason why I really wanted to make this pick a card video for you guys. Right now, so many of us are in pain because there's way too many changes being introduced into the world before we are given the opportunity to catch up to it, while at the same time recognizing that we need these changes. Aquarius is a sign of innovation, change, technology, revolution. It's a very humanitarian and progressive sign. It's very ideas driven. So whatever house in your chart Aquarius is in, that's the house that will go through a lot of transformation over the next 3 years. Why is that triggering or painful? Listen, this conjunction doesn't mean that you're gonna go and start like a tech company and establish like an Amazon. That's not what it literally means. It could also mean that new ideas, new thought patterns, new belief systems will sort of take over and replace your existing beliefs. This means that every single area of your life potentially will go through a major progressive transformation in the years to come. So a really dumb analogy is this. In the past, people married for security. People settled down based on who had a bigger farm. You know, that's a very earth sign thing, right? Like who has more material wealth. Now that we're shifting into Aquarius, it's gonna be less attached to material things. It's gonna be more ideas driven. It's gonna be more maybe psychic or soul driven. Does this partner actually fulfill me? What that means is that existing partnerships that were maybe based on material wealth will disintegrate. Or our ideas of partnerships and marriage might change. Same thing with jobs and career. Maybe before we had a very Capricornian approach to career, right? Like clock in, clock out, work really hard, hustle, take the job that pays you more. Now entering Aquarius, our approach might be more about self-expression, identity, expressing our originality and uniqueness, freedom. And this could be really triggering for individuals whose family really value material wealth and success. And this could be also very triggering for parents who really wanted their children to go into traditional professions and won't. This could also be very triggering for artists and creatives who have an idea of what they want to do, not quite sure how to get there. So what do you do with this? How do you work with this conjunction and how could you continue to work with it afterwards? Because it's not just one and done tomorrow. Notice that you have a choice. Notice that you could embrace the new ideologies and you could truly manifest and you could truly go after seemingly unconventional things that will fulfill you if you let it. and be willing to let go of old beliefs. It's genuinely a reset button. It's like a universe telling you like, psych, all this bullshit that you went through in life, here's an opportunity to change. And this is where also the 3D versus 5D conversation comes in. Aquarius is more 5D energy, I would say. I mean, Aquarius is always a more progressive, energy-driven sign, if that makes sense. So what that means is that what you think and what you feel, the intentions that you set will manifest faster, more than ever before. If you think, I don't know if I can do that, guess what? That will manifest. You probably won't be able to do it. Remember, in the Capricorn era, it's all about do, right? It's all about the physical, external, 5D sensory world. Like what you see is what you believe. Entering the energy era where that's not the case anymore. But as a recap, we are stepping into the era of free will choice more than ever before. And with the emphasis in Aquarius, you could embrace kooky, quirky, weird, out-of-box things that resonate with you that maybe you couldn't have done before. And the last thing you need is to tell yourself, nah, that's too risky. The whole paradigm is shifting. Nothing is risky anymore. Keep in mind, Aquarius is also a very humanitarian sign, so the more your intention is to help other people, the faster it will materialize and manifest as well. I have a ton of placements in Aquarius. Half my chart is almost all Aquarius. I'm very comfortable with unconventional dating situations, job situations, day-to-day habits. Like I'm very out there. But I know that for a lot of people in my life, that's caused a lot of pain because I didn't fit into what they wanted me to be based on how they were raised and based on what they were taught. So it's triggering for me because I understand how it could impact other people who don't really understand how to work with this energy. I am very comfortable being like, this is me and I'm never gonna be like this cookie cutter thing, and I hope you're okay with that. But I can't even imagine what it might be like on the receiving end. But I promise you, if you work with this energy and embrace it, it could instigate so many new situations, opportunities, and challenges into your life that you needed this whole time to really create the life that you want, but were not able to do because of judgment, opinions, or even simply because you just thought you couldn't do it. So without further ado, let's take a look at your cards. Pile 1, let's look at what this conjunction means for you. Okay, so we have 4 of Cups upright, the Tower, actually this was upright, High Priestess upright, 7 of Wands upright, 2 of Cups upright, oh, wow, whoever picked this is one lucky individual, and symbolic cards saved for the last. Okay, wow, okay, pretty straightforward. So many of you guys questioned what family is and what family looks like and what family values even mean, and if every single member in the family should even share the same values. I actually feel like this started maybe not even last year. It started a couple of years ago, but it took 2020 for you to realize, man, my family's toxic. Or maybe I'm in a marriage that's toxic. This is about great apathy towards your current family situation and desperately wanting change. So maybe I'm hearing something about recognizing that your needs are not met by your parents or by your spouse and want to break free, or maybe you have to conform in ways that were just really uncomfortable. So after this conjunction, I feel like you're going to kind of strike it on your own and, seek emancipation, or even just set verbal boundaries and say, like, I don't really fit in with you guys anymore. I'm also hearing intuition plus education. So many of you guys have been getting deeply in touch with your intuition. I just heard religion. So I feel like for some of you guys, maybe you no longer agree with or identify with your family's religion anymore or religious beliefs anymore, and you recognize yourself as a more spiritual individual who has your own sort of relationship with God and the universe, and you're like, you know what? Mom, yeah, I'll go to church every Sunday just to appease you, but just so you know, like, it's not really for me, it's for you. And I'm hearing many of you guys started studying like numerology, astrology, tarot, or something like that to kind of like understand like why you're here and seek greater understanding of like the universe and life at large. I'm also feeling like for many of you guys, you did this in secret, like your parents or like maybe even like your loved ones wouldn't approve, but you did it anyway because you were really trying to understand and expand your soul. Like, there's something more to this world than just whatever the Bible says. That kind of a thing is what I'm hearing. For many of you guys, I'm also hearing that you might even change your major if you're in school. Like you might not even really want to keep studying whatever it is you're studying because you're like, this just doesn't like resonate with me on a soul level anymore. By the way, real fast, I'm getting Pisces energy here, Scorpio, and Aquarius. What this conjunction will do for you, I'm specifically hearing 5th house. So this is the house of creativity, romance, children. That will be greatly impacted, but it's not the literal house. I just feel like your attitude and your relationship about it will shift as a result of this conjunction. So maybe what's been holding you back is tradition. Maybe what's been holding you back is, you know, your priest or your pastor or your parents telling you, you know what, this is what a good churchgoer does, or this is what a good Christian would do or settle for or whatever. And you're like, no, but I want passion. I want something new. I want something that really fulfills my heart's greatest desires. So you are kind of striking out on your own and doing what makes you happy and what makes you kind of light up. Even if it's like super unconventional. See, tomorrow's conjunction is in Aquarius. The star card is the Aquarius card. You are truly downloading and embodying this Aquarian spirit. And I actually feel like for many of you guys, you might find better partners and better soulmates. You're going to start attracting better relationships because you no longer work within the confines of what your mommy and daddy told you to do. You're just kind of like, I know you said I should be with this kind of person, but I want to be with this kind of person instead because they make me happier. Because they get me on like a mental, emotional level rather than like a, you know, we share the same religion kind of a thing. So I'm hearing true love coming in, but I'm also hearing genuine connections in general, even if it's not romantic, genuine connections where you're going to feel for the first time in a long time, finally seen and heard, which is beautiful. So we're gonna look at these cards in a second, but I actually feel like for pile number 1, relationships, family, and romance, maybe even creativity, has been under major Capricornian or Saturnian control, where you had to like play by the rules. But now you're kind of like, I just don't like that anymore, though. Why do I have to settle for red when I like blue? It's like there's that shift of like just running towards what truly attracts you. Or what you're truly attracted to. Okay, so let's look at, okay, so, oh, wow. See, look at that. This is kind of ironic. Okay, so this represents Saturn. This represents Jupiter. So what is restricting you that you're leaving behind and what you're embracing instead. So you're leaving behind heartache. It's almost like when you guys were too confined, it was heartbreaking. Or for some of you guys, maybe you were in a relationship with someone that was cheating on you, but you just didn't leave because you thought it was the right thing to do. Maybe you were raised, you know, a good wife or husband doesn't leave their partner no matter what. Until death do us part kind of thing, right? And you're starting to realize, man, these rules just like broke me in. It doesn't make any sense. They made me more depressed than ever before. That's what I'm hearing. And what you're embracing, ironically, is the Hierophant. This means marriage. This means success. It's a very traditional form of marriage and success, but I feel like for you, you're just redefining what that is for you. You're redefining for yourself what you need and want in a marriage or a partnership, or what success means. In my 21 Days of Major Arcana, I teach this, but this card is almost like the bridge between the spiritual world and like the 3D world. Some restrictions and some confinements are necessary for us to become grounded in our spiritual pursuits. So this represents the church too sometimes. For you, I actually feel like, I'm also hearing Taurus, I'm actually feeling like you're like, you know what? It's never the structure and the rules that I had an issue with. That's not what I had the problem with. I'm feeling like for you, the issue was really with the fact that they were not your rules. They were somebody else's rules. Maybe passed down for generations. And you know, and you're saying like, you know what? I am not a hedonist. I like and work well with rules. It just has to make sense. That's what I'm hearing. So this is also spirit validating that you're not just going to go off and live like a hedonistic lifestyle without any rules after this conjunction. You will, but you'll just do it in a way that's genuinely wholesome, holistic, and authentic to you. Let's see what other guidance cards we get. Okay. Be bold and make the first move. So the way I interpret this is that I think you've come to realize that no one's going to make this change for you or than yourself. Your family's not going to be the one to kick you out. Your school's not going to be the one to kick you out. Your partner's not going to be the one to leave. You have to initiate. You have to take the action. See, and that's another reason why a lot of people sometimes like stay put or choose status quo, because no one else is doing anything about it. And they're like, well, you're not doing anything, so I won't. This is also why some people stay in jobs for years that they shouldn't, because they're not fired. But that's like such a low level reason. So you're realizing like, you know what, just because no one's initiating doesn't mean I can't go for it first. So you're going to start instigating the change. And one big advice for you, but also this is an archetype you're stepping into, is that you're starting to approach all of this with much more levity. Sorry, my nails are disgusting. You're starting to approach this whole thing with much more levity. Like, it doesn't have to be that serious. It doesn't have to be that boring, or, the tradition, the family environment, the school, the job, all of it. I feel like maybe it all had a very serious undertone. I'm also hearing that for some of you guys, you come from like a military family, or maybe there's like military roots, and you're just kind of like, yeah, but like I am the person in the family that like makes everybody laugh. Like, I'm the class clown. I'm the comedian. And it's starting to get tiring. I want to laugh too. I want to be humored as well. So Spirit's really saying that is almost funny enough like your higher self. The part of you that's like humorous and funny and lifts other people up, that's your higher self. But your higher self is telling you, get yourself out of this toxic situation where you're always lifting everybody else up. And combining these two, I'm getting a strong feeling that you're actually going to have a lot of fun exiting whatever it is you're exiting. So once again, the Capricorn, or the Saturn, was about the Three of Swords. Leaving this behind to embrace levity, and you're moving towards success and long-term partnerships by your own terms. Maybe you might leave a partner who's so serious all the time, and maybe choose someone who makes you laugh for a change. That kind of thing. I can actually really relate to this pile because I come from a very serious family. So when I go to family dinners, like, I really can't crack my usual inappropriate jokes, and that gave me so much like grief, because I've always wanted to just for once be at a family dinner where I could like make inappropriate jokes and like nobody would care. And because of that, I also attracted very serious partners, and that wasn't fun either. So that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting, where you're like, there has to be more to life than this. And this will unfold over the next few months and years. It's not a short-term thing, so don't quit. All right, that's all I have for you today, Pile 1. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Blessings to you for the conjunction. And if you would like to go deeper into the reading, my book information is in the description below. So I'll see you in our next video. Take care. Bye-bye. Pile 2, let's look at how this conjunction will impact you. Okay, so we got King of Wands reversed, the Death reversed, the Knight of Wands upright, Justice upright, Three of Pentacles reversed, Ten of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so I get Libra, Scorpio, a lot of fire energy here as well, some earth, but more like Scorpio, Libra. Let's see. Okay, pretty clear message. Many of you guys went through a lot of psychic evolution this year, a lot of soul searching, a lot of soul work. It's almost like you weren't really feeling like yourself. Like this whole year was off for a lot of people, but I feel like for you guys, it was more about identity and like, why am I here? Why am I in this job? And why am I in this situation? It's just like you wanted a complete change. You almost want to even like change your looks. And I'm also feeling like, this is a very specific channel, but if you have like a predominantly masculine energy to you, for whatever reason, you kind of want to disown that as well. Like suddenly you felt more feminine or more passive. There's something about masculine versus feminine energy here that was off kilter, and you want to correct it. But the main thing here is going through a deep soul searching year and wanting changes, but not really being sure where you're headed next. I feel like many of you guys experienced Dark Night of the Soul, and it really threw you off balance. I'm getting also the word dissociation, so you almost feel like this whole year you've been like dissociating. It primarily had to do with your job though and your career. What I'm getting is that many of you guys experience success as entrepreneurs. I'm also hearing that maybe some of you guys are lawyers, but you decide to go to market with it as an entrepreneur instead of, you know, being at a law firm or something like that, which is a very specific channel, but that's a very minority case. The bigger message here is about you going after your dreams because you want to be fair to yourself. After all this deep inner psychic and soul work, you realize you were like, you know what am I, like, what's holding me back? Why am I being so unfair to myself? Why am I keep telling myself I can't do this or that when there's so much I can bring to the table? I also feel like some of you guys weren't being treated fair at work. Maybe you had a boss that was very toxic or domineering and you kind of want to get away from that. I'm also hearing some of you guys sued your employers. There is definitely work politics here. If it's not a battle with yourself to do what's right for you, there's a battle with a literal employer maybe who violated boundaries or privacy issues, or maybe there was work harassment. So that also really inspired you to kind of do your own thing as an entrepreneur is what I'm hearing. So, you know, we all get triggered into Dark Night of the Soul for different reasons. For some of us, it's breakup. For some of us, it's loss of a job. For some of us, it's death of a loved one. For you, it feels like work pressure kind of pushed you into that. Where you're headed is really nice. 3 of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles. So, well, they're both reversed, so there's going to be some caveats here. I feel like you're realizing you don't want to compete anymore. You want camaraderie and respect and friendships and mutual understanding. You don't want to keep throwing people under the bus and have to deal with red tape and like agendas to get what you need. I just feel like this conjunction is asking you to think about how you want to relate to people at work, how you want to work with people, how you want to build with people. You know, there's that quote by Gary Vee where he says like there's 2 ways to win, like 1 by building the tallest building, or 2 by building the tallest building together or something like that. Like you're very much about the latter camp. You're like, you know what? Yeah, I could beat everybody down and like come out on top, but I don't want to. I kind of want to work together. Like I feel like whoever picked group 2, a theme around equality, justice, fairness, companionship, mutual trust, like those things really came up as like part of your core values this year. Does that kind of make sense? Where you're like, I'm also hearing that some of you guys are really intelligent and you're good at what you do, and you could have continued to play that game, that really nasty, like, you know how like for example at Google they like grade their employees like on a curve, like only a certain percentile get to be in like top 1 or 2%. You're kind of like, yeah, I could play that game, but I don't want to, because everyone's intelligent in their own way, and I don't want to be measured against like a very specific metric anymore. And I don't want to have to beat other people down. There is a feeling of that. But I think the reason why these are reversed is because you quite haven't figured out how to get there yet. I'm also hearing that maybe you're partnering with some of your friends to like build a company together or something, and you're kind of working out the details of that. But the way this conjunction will affect you moving forward is really about, I also want the word community. So maybe you're trying to build some kind of a community. Anyway, the conjunction, the way this will impact you moving forward is it's very much, it feels a lot like 11th house and 6th house. So your day-to-day job as it relates to friends and coworkers, like your relationship with them, like it's almost like that's more important than like what it is you're building to begin with. Like you want to experience, you want to enrich your time on Earth, enrich your experience on Earth by co-creating with other people is what I'm getting, without being egotistical or stealing from someone or making someone feel bad. And that's a big deal. I know that some of you guys who are watching this might think like, wait, that's it? But that's a big deal, because if you think about it, how much time do we spend at work? I mean, the number one reason why people quit their jobs is because of their boss and their coworkers. So let's look at these 2 cards. So, this card represents Saturn. This card represents Jupiter. What is restricting? What is expanding? for your highest good. So what's restricting? Six of Wands. I feel like, it's so funny. This is like the opposite of pile one. I feel like you were very much of like the salesy type. Like you knew exactly what to do and say to get people to like you. You're very likable. Like you're like the diplomat. You're the artist. You are someone who can like sell anything. So maybe you very much like sort of like played that capitalistic game really well for so long. But what you're moving into now is kind of like starting over. Page of Coins is like the mini manifestation card. It's also someone who kind of like picks themselves back up and rebuilds something again. So I feel like you're kind of saying like, you know what? Yeah, I could sell whatever I want. I can be that marketing guru. You know, I can be that suave person that like everybody likes in corporate. But I realized that was not the true me. That was me being fake. And what I really want is to just build something of my own that is real. Some that's actually earthy. So even if you're moving into the whole Aquarian thing, for you as it relates to how you work with other people, that is becoming more grounded. So you might even dedicate yourself to companies and communities and jobs where unless they have this value, you just don't want to be part of it anymore. You might even like at the interview ask like, what is a work culture here? Do you promote within or from out? How do you treat people who's been around for a long time but maybe aren't top performers anymore? Do you just kick them out? Or do you try to dig deeper as to, you know, and see like why maybe they aren't so happy? You know, this is all about manifesting, building, planting seeds. So many of you guys are going through a career reset, which is exactly what I was picking up from the tarot. 2 advice cards. Actually, you guys got an extra card. As I was shuffling, 2 extra cards fell out. Nothing is yet set in stone, and don't let your past hold back. So this is very much like the reason why these cards came out reversed earlier too. It's because like you kind of know what you want. You have like a loose goalpost, but it's not quite cemented on what that is. So, you know, I'm thinking like maybe you want to go to a startup. Maybe you want to go to a nonprofit. Maybe you want to just like do your own thing. Like there's lots of different avenues. What you do know, though, is that you want to work with other people. So I think that's why nothing is yet set in stone, and Spirit's asking you to maybe dig a little bit deeper and figure out what you really want to do or what kind of skills you want to utilize. But I'm also hearing don't let your past hold you back. So instead of looking towards like your resume and looking towards what you study, look at the past to see what you should do next. Just kind of like, you know, channel this energy. Just really start from scratch. Don't be afraid to do that. Because we often look at what we've done to see what we should do next. And that's actually kind of like a bad idea in general. And in fact, this conjunction is specifically telling you not to do that. Remember, like we want to expand, not restrict. So that's exactly this energy over here. Just because you don't feel like you're qualified to do something doesn't mean you shouldn't give it a try. So if you have like a quiet voice inside your head that says, you know, you should go apply to this thing or you should take on this job even though you know nothing about it, listen to that voice. Do it. Give it a shot. And this is oh my gosh, this is perfect. This is the archetype you're stepping into, the river. This literally means don't be indecisive. So many of you guys might be hemming and hawing. You're probably at the stage where you're like, but I've always been really good at sales. What else would I do, even though I hate my clients and coworkers? Don't look at the past. Don't be afraid to start over. You got this. And most importantly, don't be indecisive. You know exactly what you want to do. You just don't know how to do it or how to get there. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't try. I've changed careers many times in my life. And every time I changed it, I was not qualified. But it's you taking a leap of faith that the universe rewards, not so much like the tactical, tangible skills. Think about that. All right, I hope this was helpful. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you would like a deeper dive reading, do not hesitate to book some time with me. My book information is in the description below. All right, it was truly a pleasure reading for you. I'll see you in your next video, and best of luck to you. Bye-bye. Pile 3, are you ready for your great conjunction message? Here we go. Okay, we have 9 of Swords reversed, Knight of Swords upright, 3 of Swords reversed, Temperance reversed, 5 of Swords reversed, 7 of Pentacles upright. Oh, okay. Plot thickens. Saving the best for the last. Let's dive in. Wow. Many of you guys are coming out of the year of depression. Lots of sleepless nights, lots of anxiety, lots of depression. This is not necessarily dark night of the soul. This is something totally different. Many of you guys have experienced real losses, breakups, maybe even deaths, maybe even lost like physical property or something like that. There is real external world loss that you've experienced that triggered you into really just questioning a lot of things, like your values, belief systems. But you know, when I see this energy, it's almost like, yeah, like I can see why you were depressed. It's like there were just, let me put it this way. When people come see me, it's not because they have mental health problems. That's not the reason why they come see me. It's because life is so complicated. Life is full of vagaries and they just want to know how to navigate it. That's why they seek me out. It's not because they have anxiety and they want to talk about it. That's rarely the reason why. So in your case, what I'm hearing is that you've experienced life complexities and you just didn't know like how to go about it. Like you were out of answers is what I'm getting. Yeah, I'm feeling like there were major delays, detours, separations, pain as it related to love. I'm hearing someone could have cheated on you. Maybe you could have cheated on someone. For some of you guys, maybe you're about to get married or engaged, but someone pumped the brakes and said, no, actually, I don't know if I feel the same way about you. There's a lot of like sudden changes that were like heart-wrenching and followed by like massive delays on trying to figure out a solution, that kind of a thing as it relates to the matters of heart. But you are getting a break and you are getting a relief. I'm getting that the worst is behind you. This is leaving a problem, getting out of an issue, and prosperity and actually travel to ahead. So, but this could be literally like physical travel or traveling away from a situation that's toxic. And I love this, Pile 3. I actually really, really like seeing this because I can see that you had a really tough year, objectively. Like this is like a very difficult, triggering year. I'm also getting a lot of air energy. So Aries, Libra, Gemini, but it doesn't have to be. I'm also getting Sagittarius. Yeah, Sagittarius. So it's almost like this conjunction is finally allowing you to breathe for once. It's finally letting you just go, okay, we've tortured you enough. Now you may go out and play and just like, you know, feel normal again. I actually wouldn't be surprised if you guys like move. I'm here in California or West Coast. I'm also hearing that you guys might get a new job that pays you better. For some of you guys, this may not even be love. This could be work betrayal. Maybe a coworker backstabbed you. That kind of a thing. But I am definitely hearing that rewards are around the corner. You've paid enough. You've suffered enough. You've been there, done that. You've seen it all and you've learned it. It's interesting because I'm not getting really clearly exactly what the restriction was. It just seems more mental. And it could have really come from any area of your life. I want to say it's love, but it doesn't even have to be love. I actually feel like maybe your biggest strife this year was maybe like now 9th house and 1st house. So like the house of identity and also house of higher learning education. Maybe everything that you thought was true was severely challenged. Like you thought you could trust your partner. You thought you could trust your employer. You thought you could trust this and that. Turns out you can't. It's like those, it feels more like that than like, than you not being happy at a job, you know? It doesn't really feel like that kind of issue. There's an element of betrayal here. So maybe something that Saturn really was asking you to look at is, what are you loyal to? I talk about this a lot in my 21 Days of Major Arcana class. What are you loyal to? That's synonymous to what are you attached to? Attachment is the root of all suffering. We're all attached to something, by the way. If not, we'd be all Buddhas at this point. But like, we're all attached to something. So your lesson was, what have you been attached to that you gave your power away to that turns out you shouldn't have? I mean, I shouldn't say shouldn't have because hindsight's always 20/20. But what do you now know not to do anymore? So this conjunction is really waking you up to realize, like, oh my God, turns out I created my own pain by giving my power away, and all I have to do is just take it back, right? But I love seeing the Seven of Pentacles because this means big rewards. Let's look at your guidance cards. So this card represents Saturn, the restriction, and this card represents expansion, Jupiter. It's very interesting how everyone's been, okay. What did I say? What you're leaving behind is a blind leap of faith, AKA trust. So this is someone who just takes a leap of faith, right? They're like, well, let's just go for it. It seems like a great idea. And I feel like maybe you've done that with people, places, and things that maybe you should have thought twice. I'm sorry, I don't mean to say you should have. That's not an appropriate way to describe it. But I'm hearing the word naive. I'm hearing the word compassionate. Like you're almost like too much of a compassionate, kind, giving person that you would like help somebody just because they ask you for help. And when you turn around, they're like stabbing the back, that kind of a thing. You're being asked to look at that part of yourself and go, why do you allow yourself to be betrayed and fooled that way? Like, what internal boundary are you missing that these things happen? And what's actually mitigate that, and this is the Jupiter energy, what you're about to expand is Two of Coins. This is the energy of someone having to prove themselves to you first before they can earn a seat at your table. Two of Coins is all about putting in the work. It's also about juggling. It's also about negotiation and boundaries. So maybe you're also learning how to not only set boundaries, but negotiate. Like, yeah, I'm willing to do this for you, but can you do this for me? Let's see what you got. Weird, because people would think that they're like the reverse, right? Like this feels more expansive and this feels more restrictive. But in your case, I feel like you were almost too giving, you were almost too forgiving, and ended up just shooting you in the foot. Let's see. So the guidance card that I got for you is your dreams need a practical plan. So it's interesting, right? Because this card has like a practical component to it as well. I feel like they're saying you need a mentor or a teacher or a coach. This is not something you can do on your own. For someone with a lack of boundaries, they can't just suddenly start setting boundaries, okay? That's not easy. So I'm hearing that you could benefit greatly from a program that gives you a systematic approach to deal with narcissists. Oh my God, why didn't I say this earlier? I feel like maybe you guys were dealing with narcissists. So after this conjunction, or use this conjunction energy to really sit yourself down and go and make a plan and go like, what can I do to protect myself, but at the same time keep my heart open and strengthen my energy against low vibrational people. Oh, it's so crazy because I just said open your heart and I got the heart. This means, you know what, pile 3, okay, I think because, I'm sorry, also my nails are kind of nasty, but because I think the message that pile 3 got was so jarring, because there's a lot of harsh undertones here, I feel like Spirit is saying, you know what, you have a beautiful heart. And at the end of the day, there is nothing that beats a really good heart in this world. It's priceless. So cherish it, protect it. Don't close your heart because of this. You know, that was the heart wasn't the problem. It was the boundaries. It was you assuming that everybody else has the same heart as you. But that doesn't mean you should close your heart from now on. A lot of people that take my 21 Days of Major Arcana class often say like, well, my problem is that my heart was too open, I should close it. I'm like, no. No, keep the heart open, bring up the boundaries. There's other chakras in your body other than the heart. You know that, right? There's others are there to protect you. So I hope you enjoyed this reading, pile 3. I really enjoyed reading for you. If you would like to go deeper, my booking information is in the description below. So I hope to see you there. Otherwise, I will catch you at your next video. All right, take care. Bye-bye.